Welcome to our Homologa tutorials, where we explore tips and tricks from Homologa, the global crop protection database. Today we will review the MRL's Data Evolution module, full new and modified MRL's information. This module belongs to the Data Evolution module family, in this case related to these maximum residue levels. It will help you answering questions related to the identification of MRL data that changed through time. This MRL Data Evolution module requires the user to define a specific time window in which the system will extract MRL changes that occurred during that period. The system will include in the results specific pairs of columns in certain fields with the old and the new information for those fields. Full new and modified MRL's information will allow users to spot changes in the amount, level of determination, changes in legislation, last updates, expiry dates, future amounts, future application dates, MRL exceptions, and import tolerances. In addition to these fields, it will also offer full MRL's information. Lastly, the report will include a modification type column in which the system will show whether a particular MRL entry is new or modified for the period of time defined for this specific query. In this table, you can check all available fields in this module. As you can see, it is quite extensive, so feel free to pause the video here in case you want to check them in detail. I also highlighted in red those fields offering old and new values. With this information, let us jump now into the tool and check how this module works. We are now back in Homologa. To start, we need to go to the Search tab and go to the MRLs, and then under MRL's Data Evolution, you should be able to see full new and modified MRL's information. Once in the module you can see that we are asked about a region or a country and a date from and a date to. This is a mandatory field as I mentioned during the presentation. For the purpose of this example for this video tutorial, I was thinking about extracting changes at the European level for a certain active ingredient which is deltamethrin. In order to do that, there are different ways of getting the same results, but I am going to use, in this case, the region filter, and I am going to select Europe as a home, and I'm going to define my date from and my date to. I am going to select the 1st of January, 2024 until the 1st of October, 2024. In the crop filter, I am not going to play with the crops for this particular example, but then I am going to look for changes for an active ingredient. I am going to select deltamethrin. Then for the advanced filter, I can focus my search on new entries or modified entries. I am just going to leave it empty to have both. I will now run this report. It turns out that I have 815 results. 815 changes in the last 10 months for deltamethrin at the European level. In the results table, you can see that I have crop information with the crop originals, of course, and if I scroll to the right, I am going to be able to see those specific old versus new columns that I was talking about. For example, this amount old and amount new. As you can see, there are different values in these entries, but I will focus on the first entry. If I am not mistaken, for nutmeg, as you can see in the crop original over here, deltamethrin is defined at 0.1 ppm for nutmeg. But if I scroll to the right, you can see that there is a future amount for deltamethrin for nutmeg. It will go down from 0.1 to 0.05 ppm, according to the regulation. It is defined as the new legislation over here. There is a new regulation, which was the 1342 in 2024, that will substitute the original regulation 1822 from 2016. So that way, I can understand that this particular value is going to change according to this regulation. On the right, you can see the modification type. Of course, this is a modified. This is a modified because it was a value that existed in this particular time frame that I've selected, and it changed during 2024. As you can see in the regulation, there was a new law defining a change, and this is why I have a result in this module. I can go to the residue definition again if I need to check that particular active ingredient in detail. All in all, this is the type of information that you are going to be able to get from this report. All those changes through time related to MRLs in any of the countries that we currently have in Homologa. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these tips and tricks for using Homologa helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest tutorials. See you in the next video. Goodbye.